an impasse. Meg and Trevor Noah are shown on Spotify, but not on Amazon. The Duchess received rejections from Apple and Google. To create its podcasting empire, Spotify invested over $1 billion. It made headline-grabbing agreements with Kim Kardashian, the Obamas, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle, paying $286 million for 2 podcast studios and spending up to $250,000 per episode on exclusive programming to entice new listeners. People with knowledge of the situation say that this wager hasn't paid off because the majority of the company's shows aren't lucrative. In an effort to stem its losses, the corporation has recently reduced employees and programming. The business, which has had trouble announcing regular earnings, lost €527 million in the 6 months ending in June on $6.2 billion in revenue. No one in the industry is generating a lot of money off of podcasts, but Spotify, which invests far more in the format than its competitors, has more to lose than most when it comes to competition from other genre formats. Exclusive podcasts, according to Spotify supporters, don't usually entice listeners away from their competitors. In the first half of the year, Rose's podcast expenses totaled €29 million. Podcasts from Sirius, iHeart NPR, and others, as part of a broader cost-cutting effort, competitors have also experienced budget cuts and layoffs tied to podcasts. This year, a popular trend among media and technology companies, we now have a really solid portfolio, according to Soha Olabashi, head of Spotify's podcast division, meaning the company has begun to share more risk with its talent. Trevor Noah, who left The Daily Show in late 2022, will receive payment from the firm recently in order to lend his humorous voice to an upcoming exclusive weekly podcast on Spotify. The weekly podcast will combine Noah's witty sense of humor and razor-sharp wit with his global outlook to provide a distinctive take on the most trending and interesting issues of the day. In-depth interviews between Noah and some of the most important and fascinating people in the world will also be included in the TBD named series, according to Spotify. According to the business, hiring Trevor Noah was a wiser decision than hiring Meghan Markle for a contract, according to Money. Michael's only podcast Archetypes debuted at the top of Spotify's podcast charts in August 2022, but it was unable to maintain a sizable audience and was not renewed for a second season. Amazon, Apple, and Google, tech beer giants with their own audio streaming services, as well as Spotify's rivals, declined to work with Meghan in the wake of the Duchess' abject failure. In the past, global podcast studios, according to Julie McNamara, the organization is looking to collaborate with talented creators that have a powerful message to share. Some of the most well-known podcasters, such as Joe Rogan and Alex Cooper, have exclusive contracts with Spotify. The issue with Spotify is that until they stop lavishing outrageous sums of money on talentless individuals and stop boosting the numbers of those untalented grifters, their podcast division will continue to operate in the red. There's no way that Joe Rogan's show, Archetypes, was more well-known. It receives anywhere from hundreds of thousands to millions of views per episode because of the variety of guests he puts on, from astrophysicists to actors. I'm far more interested in smart people or those who produce long-form podcast series like The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling. My latest favorite podcast is Maid of Mother Matriarch. The host Louise Perry is smart and interesting, and asks her guests deep insightful questions. She doesn't blather on about I could give a rip about what any celebrity has to say about anything. I'm far more interested in those who produce long-form podcast series like The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling.